Hello everyone, I am Anders Herlin. I'm going to talk about better control of the sow health and using a novel sensor embedded in an ear tag in the FITPig project, which has been part of the Internet of Food and Farm platform. It's done by myself and colleagues in Switzerland and Spain. Going to carry you through introduction, material methods, results and discussion, and some conclusions. Pig farming generally is a great challenge for farmers and the industry. It threats on the outside, and productivity is crucial as pig farming is competitive. There's a need to ensure and improve animal health and reproduction constantly for these farmers. We also believe that there's an increase of productivity, online continuous monitoring, as the farmers cannot be with animals all the time. Also, the improvement of animal welfare will address consumer concerns together with productivity. One of the concerns is for the producer is the health of sows and the farrowing process. There are some health issues in the peri-farrowing period. There's a complex of disease, the postpartum galactica syndrome, PPDS, that includes metritis, mastitis, and agalactasia with various symptoms. Also, during the farrowing, some prolonged farrowing indicates obstruction in the birthways that leads to worsened fertility in the later on. So there's indications that we need monitoring animals outside work hours. We should be able to produce some early warnings and also to produce some decision support. Sensors can monitor a lot of things in pigs, and there are a number of those. We have here been focusing identity, which is crucial. If you are an RFID, you are electric identity, that's the first thing, and the second thing here is to see the activity of the animal, and for the third thing, which is the novel thing, mainly here, it's about the heart rate, because that will tell us more about the animals, the health status of the animal. But the activity we could connect to nest building, and we could connect it to lying standing, and lying standing behavior could be also help us to indicate things with the health. And with the activity, the aim here is to link it to the farrowing process. Nest building before farrowing is a kind of special behavior for sows. They manipulate the bedding material, they move the head, the snout, mouth, and chew and move the bedding material. And it can start about 24 hours before farrowing, and it ends about when the sow farrows. The ear tag is here what we have built up with this heart rate and activity. It's an optic device called the photoplethysmographic sensor. We use it here for pigs. It's an established technology in humans, and it's also very cheap and used in hospitals, for example. It measures the resting heart rate, and by so it's because it's sensitive to movements when it's measuring. This ear tag heart rate has been validated on sedated pigs against the electrocardiogram. And activity, we use accelerometer, which is also a common technology. There are some technical considerations. There's a need to design a thing that withstands pig environment and pig manipulations. There's also a battery involved here, crucial for the operation of the sensors. The longevity is absolutely in connection with the data capture frequency and connectivity, and the battery, lithium, poses a potential danger for the pigs and the environment, and could also be dangerous, like it could produce a lot of heat and explosion. Transmission and connectivity is also a big part of this work. We also have included air quality monitoring. The aim of the project has been to secure a technological function, the signal capture and connectivity. We need to annotate the relevant data of animal events and to produce algorithm development, and establish a PPG sensor data with health status, and establish activity data with nest building and the time for the start of farrowing. And we think at the end it should provide a useful technology. The ultimate aim is to produce something that the farmer and user could use in his stable, like having alerts and decision support tools here. The studies we did was on a commercial pig farm. They have 2 farrowing units. We be able to produce 3 × 3 3+3 batches with 10,000 each batch. They were about to farrow when they moved in, and they were equipped with a special air tag we just described. The air tag includes a PPG sensor, accelerometer, thermometer, and battery. 6 batches so far with 10 air tags. However, looks a lot, but we also have quite a lot of missing data because of different reasons. Data recording and connectivity will show you activity, heart rate, and connectivity, and also there are also some other things like temperature better, but we don't show that. Behavior studies of our videos have been includes the nest building, farrowing, and landings standing. The prototype FITPig air tag looks like this, and there are a couple of holes for the optical units in it. The connectivity and air quality has been from the smart spot, and it produced temperature, relative humidity, and ammonia, carbon dioxide, and so on, dust particles, which are very important for pigs, and the data capture is done by Bluetooth. We also find that we needed a router, was a router on the farm, but we also needed some extra access points to transfer the data. So visualizing a little bit how the system went here using the PPG sensor, the atmosphere in the barn, and also some activity data. So and the farmer should at the end get it in an app, in a phone. Going through some results and discussions, showing a little bit of examples. There's about technical stuff and connectivity, the nest building to farrowing from accelerometer data, the heart rate, and the PPG sensor, and related to we have I show you here 2 examples of connectivity. It looks very good in the upper figure. There are few gaps in connectivity, but usually it seems to be very good. And in the lower figure, there are more gaps and longer gaps. We don't really exactly know what the problem is here, but something we have to explore a little bit more, but you can see that these things happen. The air tags, as a special events, we have a few that have dropped off, and but they have all been retrieved. There are some weak points identified. It is a tough environment, and also the holes we made for the optical device within the air tag made a little susceptible to be broken off here. Activity and nest building and farrowing. We show you in this example. The farrowing started at 1927. I could see that from the video, and you could see that the nest building activities took place approximately maybe some up to 19 hours before farrowing. It starts here possibly at midnight and ends just before farrowing. So that was a really good example. I think we could build on that, and you could see before and after the activities are not that prominent. It's especially here in the after the farrowing, it's very quiet, and when she gets up the next day and gets some breakfast. Resting heart rate. There were fewer recordings because of these criteria needed to have no movement in the sow, so we had fewer of these, and also more. We had lots of data also. There's a heart rate which seems here to be a little bit elevated, and that sow was treated about a day before with antibiotics, and you could see after 24 hours the heart rate goes down. Of course, this is very little indication, but it's a little bit show that we hope that it would show in the when we have no more data also. Some conclusions. It seems to be promising technology. We detect farrowing from the nest building activity and the resting heart rate to some extent, but there's more to do. Technical issues to be refined. Reduce the loss of data, make it safer. Work more with the data and processing of data. We need to produce more ground truth. Detector development algorithm needs to be done, and end user platform and database integration should be done at the end. So, but thank you for your attention.